What's going on, everyone? Before I start watching Game 1 between the Celtics and the Heat, I wanted to just share some thoughts on how I'm feeling about the Orlando Magic winning the NBA Draft Lottery. And the thoughts are, they need it, absolutely 100%. And I've been a big fan of their drafting over the last couple years for the most part. Love Franz Wagner. I thought he was a phenomenal value pick where they got him last year at number 8, and he had a really good rookie year. Jalen Suggs, I think most of us were hoping and expecting a lot more, but a lot of that was because of injury. A lot of that was because it just looked like we've seen it with rookies in the past. They just struggled to get their legs under them, and that kind of looked like what Jalen Suggs was going through a little bit. It's yet to be seen if he's ever going to turn out to be what they hoped he would, but it's not over for him by any means. 1 year, who cares, especially when you're playing for a bad team. Who cares? Rookie year, what didn't go your way? Let's see what you got year 2. Just keep getting better. That's all we can expect. Cole Anthony, love that pick. That's been a tremendous pick for them for where they drafted him and what he's turning out to be. But with the NBA draft, I'm always very big, especially in the NBA draft, on taking the best player available. Best player available, I don't think there's any question about it. It's Chet Holmgren from Gonzaga. He's a center who can literally do it all. There's nothing that this kid can't do. Great defender, great offensive player. Can he do some things better than other things? Absolutely, 100%. But that's just about any kid you're going to have coming into the NBA. They're going to be way better at some things than they are at other things. Tone your craft. Get better. And this kid he's been described as a unicorn, and I think that's really, really... It reminds me of, and I'm not trying to compare the prospects at all because I think Holmgren's a way better prospect, but what a lot of people were saying about DeAndre Ayton, and the reason I'm bringing up this is because here's why I don't think Chet Holmgren should be considered a lock necessarily, even though he is the best player. With the modern NBA the way it is, how many teams, whereas 15, 20 years ago, the majority of teams would try to build an offense around a center? How many teams in the modern NBA do that now? Denver with Nikola Jokic, Philly with Joel Embiid, but that's really it. The modern NBA game does not center offensively around a center. So, because of that, again, I don't want to say I don't think they should draft Chet Holmgren number 1 overall, best player available. If you do your due diligence and you still think that, then yeah, draft him. But with the other needs that there are on this team, and there's a lot of needs, I don't want to make no mistake about it. There's still a lot of work to be done on this basketball team. But all things considered, you just signed Wendell Carter Jr. to a long-term extension. Chet Holmgren would come in right away and start over Wendell Carter Jr. So I'm not trying to say, you already have your starter. No, if you think he's better, draft him. But what they don't have right now is a locked-in starter at power forward. And I know Jonathan Isaac's coming back next year. Love Jonathan Isaac. I was so devastated when he suffered his injury when he did, because prior to, he was playing the best basketball of his career. Very promising career that was just brief. It was halted. That's plain and simple. It was halted by a devastating injury, and although I do think he'll come back and work his way into something resembling that same player within a couple months, you have Jabari Smith from Auburn, who I am extremely high on, that could come in and be an instant impact player, in my opinion, as well. So what I'm trying to get at right now is Holmgren, I think he's the best prospect available. But I think Jabari Smith is a very close second that the Orlando Magic should do their due diligence on, just to be sure. And how these things usually work, especially because the top prospects, we usually know months before who's going number one, right? It's the third, fourth, fifth pick where things start getting interesting, where you start getting like, oh, wow, I didn't see that one coming. That's where doing your due diligence makes you change your mind a little bit. So as of right now, I think Chet Holmgren is close to being a lock, but I'm not 100% there right now. But I'm sure that's going to change over the next couple weeks, month or two. We're approaching the draft in a couple months, so more will be revealed very quickly. I'm sure of that. And it's a pretty good draft class. I'm pretty excited about it. So let me know what you guys think down below, though. Please tell me, is Chet Holmgren a lock to go number one? Should the Magic draft someone else, or should they consider trading that pick? Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll talk to you guys after this game. Thanks, guys.